What's going on, Roy? How you feeling?
Doing good, brother. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, thanks for jumping on real quick. We 10 to 15, and then we gonna get you up out of here. You what? Right. 1 day, 2 days away from your Hall of Fame induction. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feel real good. It's a great weekend, delightful weekend. Thank you for coming up and sharing it with us. I always enjoy seeing everybody. You know, it's like a family thing. You know, you're glad to see your family. All of us got them family members that we don't necessarily see eye to eye with, but it's still good to see them. You know.
Yeah.
Roy, man, awesome speech, and then the rapping after. It was so good. I wish we had 2 extra songs after it. We would have had a whole 3-song.
Yeah, we need an EP.
Yeah, but
I was trying to stick to my limit. I didn't want to go over and overdo the thing, but the song said more for me than I could have said on my own. So it's like I wanted to say the little bit I had to say, but then that song really took it to detail what I really feel and how I really feel. So it's like, I know a lot of people say a lot of stuff, but facts are facts. You understand me? I covered more weight than anybody has ever successfully covered in the sport of boxing. I started as junior middleweight and went all the way to heavyweight. You feel me? Ain't but 1 pound for pound, but you don't want to sit there and argue and debate, so I just spit the song and let that speak for me.
Hey, Roy, I knew you before I even knew you. You caused a really rupture in my family when I was about 5 years old in Louisiana. You had my uncles fight it out in the backyard, arguing over you fighting Tyson or something. I was like, man, what the who is Jones and Tyson? Hey, one of my uncles got slept. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say no names. But you had a good down south rumble at a barbecue.
That's all right.
Hey, Roy, you know, one guy you almost kind of reminded me of in boxing was like Deion Sanders. You and Deion are kind of similar. These ridiculous talents with great personalities, but yet humble. You know, down south, humble guys that you can approach for an autograph or whatever. Why is that, Roy? Why are you on one hand, you'll tell anybody, I might be the greatest fighter of all time, or I am, but then on the other hand, very humble man that you can approach?
I usually ain't gonna say that unless I'm pushed into it or somebody else is saying it and I disagree. Otherwise, it's not for me to say it for the fans to really say. And the greatest of all time in my book will always be Muhammad Ali, because without him, there'll be no me. And keeping that and knowing that without God, nothing's possible. Keep those things in mind, you're always able to stay humble. Because when you know that God got to allow you to wake up before you even take your first breath of the day. If God don't allow that, if God don't want that, it's not going to happen. So are you really in control? Are you really all that you talk about? Or is God really in control? If you understand it, you know God is in control, but God does do things through us. And he gives us things through us to help to show his work, show his power, show everything he shows through his people. You understand me? So for him to be able to do the things he did through me, I'm grateful and thankful that he used me to do it.
Do you look, obviously you went in with a ridiculously talented group of individuals from multiple years. With Floyd specifically, do you feel not competitive between the two of you, but kind of comparatively between your careers? I know in the interview you did with the Showtime podcast, you were a little fiery on there. Does Floyd kind of bring that competitive juice out of you?
Of course he does, every time, because he talks about being the best, but I walk about being the best. So I like him. I love Floyd to death. He's a great guy. He's a great man. He did more for boxing than anybody ever has done it for showing you that boxing is still relevant, because he made more money in boxing than football players, basketball players, everybody. But only bad thing is that only he could do that. Nobody else was able to do that, because you got to have different like mindset, different type of humbleness to do that. He had that humbleness to be able to do that. I wasn't humble enough to be able to wait around and hold and wait. That's not who I was, but that's not my DNA. So God didn't send Moses and David to do the same thing. Moses parted the Red Sea. David slayed Goliath. I was going to slay Goliath.
Oof.
You know, Roy, a lot of people
bar right there.
A lot of people say, you know, the best fighters come from the Midwest. Hey, Florida don't have a bad list either.
Not at all.
Who is your top 3 all-time Florida fighters? We already know you up there.
Probably, it's hard to say, man, because you got to think about it. You had Jeff Lacey, you had Nate Campbell, who came, and Freddie Pendleton. They were top amateurs that people don't forgot about by the name of Clifford and Bernard Great. Those guys, they for me, them guys back in their days, it was nothing like them, and they were amateur fighters. They never really got to be good pros, but amateur level, them guys, Winky right. I mean, it's just who the top three is because, I mean, it's some monsters come out of Florida. Trust me.
Well, Roy, keep working hard. We love you. And
we love you, Roy.
And we love everything you were able to do.
Thank you.
In front of us, the videos that we all watch, we can argue anybody.
Y'all must have forgot about 50,000 times.
Mr. Unstoppable.
Yeah.
And still.
Greatest highlights of all time. One of the greatest fighters of all time. Mr.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Captain Hook.
Mr. Captain Hook himself. Roy Jones Jr. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We'll get you back soon. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then tell them, and then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.